What does that even mean, Bowers game?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited to check it out. Game of Trains from Brain Games. This is for 2 to 4 players. Ages 8 plus. It'll take you about 20 minutes to play. And in Game of Trains, you are going to get a train with 7 things on it. They're actually just going to be numbers. You're going to start off with highest to lowest, and then you're going to try and flip that around to get all your train cars to go from lowest to highest by using a bunch of different special abilities on the cards. What am I talking about? Let's open it up and I'll show you how it works. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you get inside of Game of Trains. First and foremost, we got our handy dandy rule booklet. It's really about 1 page double-sided pretty much. This is what you're going to get. It's very well done. Pictures, illustrations, the whole shebang will have you up and running in no time at all. And I can also teach you how to play the game right now because it's a very simple game. So in this game, you are going to have a train car right here. And behind it, you are going to have 7 cards that will have numbers and certain symbols and special abilities on the top of them. When you first start the game, you're going to be dealt 7 cards, and you're going to place them in descending order. So you're going to go from highest down to the lowest. You're going to place them down in front of you. Now, in order to win the game, you are going to need to go from lowest to highest. So you're going to have to flip this around, and once you do that, you will immediately win the Game of Trains. You're going to do that by using special abilities on cards up here and also drawing cards from this deck right here, but I'll just show you how the game is played. So on your turn, and you're going to take turns going around the table, you're going to get one and only one action. The first action you have is that you can draw a card and then replace one of your other cards you have out here, and you have to do that. So this one is a 29. You know what, I might say this 58 is really not helping me out so much, so I might put this 29 right here. Now this card that I just got rid of actually goes up to the middle of the table right here, which means now my opponents are going to be able to use that special ability potentially. So the second option you can do is you can draw off the top, which was the first option. The second option is you can use one of the special ability cards up here, the ability on that card. So we'll go over what some of the different cards are going to do. So this one is a pretty simple swaparoo. So if this card were up here, we could discard this card, put it face down over here, and then we could just swap something out. So we might say, you know what, let's swap this 30 and this 37, because now we got 29, 30, 37, so that doesn't look too bad. And that would be our turn right there. Another symbol you might see is this one right here, and you probably can figure out how this one is going to work. You are going to swap one card from right here or from right here with something that is exactly 2 spaces away. So we might just go, you know what, I'm going to take this 13 and swap it out with this 30 because, well, just reasons. And then we would discard that card. The next one, there's one that looks like this, and there's one that also goes to the left like this, is going to allow you to move any one of your cards 2 spaces to the left. So if we use this one, we might say, all right, we got to get this 1 all the way down there. So bam, we got the 1 2 spaces to the left. You have to go exactly 2 spaces. You can't go 1. The next, you're going to see 3 of these kind of cards. You'll have X in the middle, X on the left, and then X on the right. When this card gets played, this is the little bit of take that in this game, if you want to even call that. So if you use this special ability, what's going to happen is everyone, including you, this particular card, is going to lose their 4th card. If you were to play this card right here, everyone would lose their 7th card, and if you played the one that has the X on the left side, everyone would lose their 1st card, and then they immediately draw up. So let's just pretend we played the one that makes us lose our, let's just say that this was right there and that was right there. So we're just pretending. So we would say we're going to use this. That would mean that everyone's right card would get discarded, and then you would draw a new card and replace it, just like that. Boom. So, I believe that is all the special abilities that you are going to be... Oh, last but not least, this is a big one, is the lock. Because if there is a lock out here, you can protect either your 1st, your 4th, or your 7th card. So let's pretend we have this 1 right here. That's a fantastic card on the left side. We want to make sure that does not get deleted by one of these X's. So what we could do on our turn is we could use this special ability on this lock, place it right here, and now this 1 cannot be messed with. Now, if we ever move this 1, it loses the lock, because the lock has to stay on a card that's either the 1, 4, or 7 position. But I do believe that is all the symbols you're going to encounter in the game. Yep. And you are going to be racing to see who can get their 7 cards from lowest to highest first, and whoever is able to do that is going to be the winner of Game of Trains. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Game of Trains from Brain Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. Before we do that, though, I want to mention one big thing that I forgot to mention in the middle part, which is if there are ever 2 of the same special abilities, special actions out in the middle, then those 2 immediately get destroyed and put into the discard pile, and no one gets to use them. That's a pretty big rule. I forgot to mention it, and I wanted to mention it right there. But Game of Trains, pros, cons. First, on the con side of the game, it's not going to be for everybody for a couple different reasons. 2 to 4 players, very restricted player count. Also, the game can get repetitive. On your turn, you're just going to be drawing a card or doing an action, drawing a card, doing an action, drawing a card, doing an action, drawing a card, doing an action. Oh, the game's over. It plays very quickly, and there's not many meaty choices or decisions in this game, which might turn off some people. Also, there is a little bit of take that. Not too much, but there can be, like when you're getting really close to winning and someone else might notice it, and they might just play an X card just because that's going to hurt you and prolong the game a little bit. That'll turn off some people, but I think most people aren't going to mind it. It's not too terribly bad, because honestly, you might draw another card that's even better. Who knows? Any other cons I have with the game? No, I really can't poke too many cons in this game. It is a very rock-solid game. Game of Trains is just one of those games that I'm going to put this on my shelf, and I don't ever see it leaving my shelf, ever, as long as I have games, because there's so many situations where I feel like this game would really work. So if you're, let's say you got 2 people coming over who've never played any games before, you don't want to throw them into the deep end, you want something short, so you don't want to grab like a Ticket to Ride or something like that, this is the perfect kind of game. It is just that simple. The symbology is very simple to understand. You know, normally when there's symbology in games, I'm like, I kind of wish there was a cheat sheet card. This game is like, you don't need a cheat sheet card. Everything is very self-explanatory in the game. Also, this game is incredibly easy to learn and easy to teach. You can have this thing set up and teach people in under, I'd say, 4 or 5 minutes. It's really that simple. Like, even new gamers. So this is a great gateway game. This is a great family game. If you want to talk about, you're talking about numbers, ascending, descending order. It says ages 8+, but I easily think if you're helping a kid, you could probably play with a first grader, or maybe even a kindergartner getting ready to graduate, so an older 6-year-old. So, great family game, but there's still enough interesting choices and meat, I think, in this game to make it a good game night filler game. So let's just say you're waiting on that 5th person, you want to grab a game. This is a great one I think you could grab. Just Game of Trains, just honestly, it's what I like to call a chameleon game. I don't see a situation where this game is not going to fit. I don't see a gaming shelf that would not benefit from having a game like this. Family games, game night filler games, heck, even younger children's game if you want to teach them. Game of Trains is going to scratch all of those itches. I definitely can recommend this one if you can get past the somewhat pasted on theme. Well, the pasted on theme. I guess it really is pasted on theme. And the little bit of take that in the game. So that is Game of Train from Brain Games. Just a no-brainer. This is a great game to have on your shelf. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know if you were going to rob a train. You can take one person with you to rob this train to help you succeed. Who are you taking to rob the train? For me personally, I would take... I'd probably take somebody really loud, like maybe Kevin Hart. Like, if I'm robbing a train with, like, Kevin Hart, yeah, I'd definitely take a celebrity and a loud one. So I think I'd take Kevin Hart. Because if 2 people are robbing a train and one of them is Kevin Hart, are you really going to be paying attention to me? No, you're going to be paying attention to him because he's loud. You're like, hey, is that Kevin Hart? Oh my gosh, that is Kevin Hart. But who would you rob a train with? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.